What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at. As you can see, the title of the broadcast, I decided to do this because a lot of men need answers out here, and some women too, about the fact that some women are, willing to deal with men that are in prison, incarcerated, and things like that. And we're trying to figure this out because some women are saying there's not enough free men out here that are up to par or whatever they think that a man should be, and they think that the man that's locked up is that type of man that they think that a man should be. And then you have another sector of women that are like, who dealing with a prisoner? And then, you got men sitting around here like, what the fuck going on here? Why are you dealing with men in prison? And then you got another factor of men that are in prison and they trying to, they want their woman too, So
what the French toast is there to think about?
They want a woman too. So, it's all out here in the open and things like that. And, explaining needs to be had. And I thought this was going to come together pretty good here. So we have an author named Tshidi Monkoe. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm not butchering the lady name. I looked her up on YouTube and Instagram. She's an author of a specific book and things like that, about how she actually got with a man in prison. So, listen, look, man, we're about to go here now. We're about to run down a few things, man. This is about to be, this is something that we have to face here. Definitely men trying to figure out reason why a lot of women, well, some women, not all, but some women actually like men that are locked up and things like that. And also the reason why they may not like men that are not locked up. But let's go here now. Let's kick this off. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
When women want to marry someone in prison, it just goes to show how many shitty guys are outside of prison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there's not
True.
enough
Damn.
guys out in the world that we would want to date that would, so therefore we're like, well, let's look at the caged ones.
Yeah.
Let's look at like who's inside. And also like in their mind, they're like, they can't have another woman. They might get another man.
Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're dating someone who's in jail, I promise you he's dating you out of convenience. When you're in jail, you have nothing around you but penis, time, and opportunity. They're not trying to worry about those men out there. They're trying to find someone who they can connect with, somebody who they can rely on, somebody who can give them a consistent connection. And if that's all you want, that's okay. But when they get out, you have to remember, you're letting an animal out of a cage. And I'm not saying animal in a bad way. We're all animals, okay? But men are primal, okay? And if y'all weren't together beforehand, y'all got together while you were in there, don't expect him to come home and be loyal to you. You got to remember, they've been institutionalized. They've been in this confined facility for who knows how long, being told what to do by other men. And the ego says, I don't want anyone else to tell me what to do. So some of us women, we need to wake up, okay? I know it's safe to know that man is locked behind those bars and he can't cheat on you and he can't do anything wrong. But guess what? At some point, they get out. And if you think you're going to replicate the same relationship inside when they get outside, you're probably in for a very sad, sad day. So I encourage you, get out before you have time, because when they get out, they're coming out like a tank. And they're rolling over anything that comes in their way.
Wow.
Love yourself first. Get something that's accessible.
So y'all be out here completely holding men down who are in prison. Y'all will put money on his books. Y'all make sure he got phone cards. Y'all go visit him every week. Some of y'all be working 2 jobs to make sure you can afford to do so. We'll do this for months or years, depending on the situation. Y'all won't fuck with, date, talk to any other man the whole entire time he's in there. Meanwhile, he probably getting his cheeks clapped by his cellmate or clapping his cellmate's cheeks, whichever one he into. And if you're
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Now, I don't know why I got to be all that, though. I don't know why I got to be all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, though. Listen, look, man, that's wild. You know, shit. I don't know why it's got to be all that, but let's keep going.
Not in this type of situation yourself, you'll encourage it whenever you see it. There's so many videos on this app of women talking about their relationships with their men who are in prison, and y'all be all up under the comments talking about relationship goals. Whose relationship goals? But will look a hard-working man with no criminal history dead in the face and tell him that you not cooking and cleaning for him because you not his mama. Will tell them that you don't do coffee dates because you don't deal with broke men. That nigga who's in jail is broke as fuck. He can't even afford noodles. You gotta get them for him. And y'all wonder why men can't fucking stand us. Y'all don't make no sense. And because there's so many of y'all who be either doing this shit or encouraging this shit, they think we all like that. I genuinely want to know what the fuck y'all be thinking about sometimes, because it don't make no sense.
And listen.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You know, now the segment I just played, you guys, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And the facts of the matter is that, you know what I'm saying, the thought process is definitely what this last young lady just said at the end here. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. You would tell a man that's working hard, that's out here able to, that has his own home, things like that, you're going to talk sideways to him, but you're going to go to work every day, bring home the bacon to send it to a guy that's locked up in a cell 5 to 10, whatever years, you know what I'm saying? And now, you know, and put money on his books and things like that. And, you know, provide for him basically. And y'all are wondering why the majority of these men out here, period, are engaging in illegal activities. And they're trying to embrace the thug life and stuff like that. This is what y'all women seem to want. This is what y'all seem to want out here. And I mean, we can't escape these thought processes, because this is what y'all seem to want. If y'all are sitting around here saying that, you know, you can't find any good men in the public sector and stuff like that, and out here in the real world, in the free world, that you have to go to men that are in prison and stuff like that, you know, the men, what they're going to adapt to what they think women want. So now we're dealing with a bunch of criminals out here that, you know what I'm saying, you women are seeming to want due to some type of pseudo masculinity that you think those type of men have, versus, you know what I'm saying, the masculinity and the family dynamic that a man's supposed to have to be in the home, to provide structure to the home, to provide discipline and actual, you know, intangible things to the home, to raise proper human beings and things like that, to be decent people in society, versus, you know what I'm saying, being everybody locked up. You know, it does confuse men out here. And this is the issue. It confuses a lot of men. Now, I'm not saying I'm not perfect. I did my time in the street and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Never got caught up for anything seriously, because if I had to do anything seriously, I did it alone.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I'm just being honest. You know, yeah, you don't get caught up when you're by yourself. But that's neither here nor there. Listen, look, all I'm saying is, though, is that you can't sit here and, as women, you know, promote, you know, the fact that you like this type of man right here, that's a destructive, chaotic man, but then no, too, on the back end, after a certain period of time, you want to come back and look around like, okay, well, now I can't deal with that type of destructive man. You know, I need somebody productive that's actually capable of holding down a job or a career or something like that to, you know, sustain the rest of your life after you done got past a certain age. That's the confusing part. And see, that's the serious part that most men are talking about, like the young lady just said, you know what I'm saying, which makes us look at you fucking crazy out here. You know, and these are just facts. So we've had to go here now, you know what I'm saying, because we're going to keep diving. And I got this young lady here. She's going to explain some things as well from her perspective. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
And to keep it real with y'all, I don't recommend no woman starting off a new relationship with a guy in jail, because you never know his true intentions, especially if he got 5 years in there. You don't know what that man's true attention is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's free love out here. You run the risk of being taken advantage of anytime you dealing with somebody incarcerated who you did not previously have a relationship. I'm not talking about somebody who was in a committed relationship prior to them going to prison. Like if that was your husband, your committed boyfriend, or something like that, you got history. I'm talking about when you got guys in prison be trying to hook you up with their homeboy, your man probably trying to hook you up with his roommate, his cellie. Yeah, them the ones I'm talking about. Look out for those, because them the ones who looking for women loyal for the state to take advantage of y'all. See, I know some women that took a lot of loss dealing with these type of guys. A lot of them is opportunists and narcissists. You got to think, they in survival mode. They're not looking for love. If they don't even know you, how can they look for love? They trying to get through the state. Hello? They're looking for somebody to put money on their books. Most of them want y'all to smuggle shit in. And they most of the time talking about marriage, they say all that to keep you send money to them books. And guess what? Some of them got 3 or 4 women in there, if not 5 or 6. They got y'all coming on different visitation days.
What? Hold on.
Bitch, you're a Dorito. You was never chose. You're a Dorito, bitch. And you're mad that you're not chose. And you never will be chose.
Hey, she breaking it down. And I'm telling you now, you know what I'm saying? I'd have had partners that done serious time and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For real though, you know, like serious. I'm telling you, man, they be having the chicks up in there like that. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about breaking that motherfucking bread off at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it just is what it is though. It is what it is though. And also it's an infatuation for a lot of women that, you know, tend to look at those type of men in that light, you know what I'm saying, that's in that mindset, that survival mode mindset. Because we have to think about the situation with a lot of women in today's society. A lot of women in today's society, you know what I'm saying, are in survival mode at all times out here in the free world. So they could relate to a man that's locked up, that's in survival mode like that. So they get it with versus a man that's got his shit together. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that the man that got his shit together is not in survival mode, but he's not on 10 with survival mode because he got his shit together. He owns his homes. He got his cars. He got his stuff. He able to eat every day what he want. He relaxed. He ain't got to be, you know, on 10 all the time, worry about enemies and this and that. He ain't amped up like the guy in prison. He ain't amped up on 10. Because every man could get amped up on 10, period, when men get in survival mode. Every man can. When survival mode kicks in, every man can. Either he's going to do it or he's going to die. So, you know, most men that you know what I'm saying, are actual men, when they get in survival mode, they get amped up and they need that shit. That's fuel for the survival. But, you know, and that's also, you know what I'm saying, attractiveness for a lot of women that are in survival mode as well. Let's keep going.
They call it women bay, okay? Prison bay, okay? Like they be having multiple women coming on different days, selling all y'all the dreams on the phone, how much they love y'all gonna get married. They even believe the delusional shit themselves because they vulnerable. Sometimes they might really feel like they do love you, but the truth of the matter is they're locked down. They're at the lowest point in their life. Their freedom have been taken, or everything been stripped from them. They can't go outside and go out, get something to eat, even from McDonald's if they want to. They're relying on other people to take care of them. So you got to understand that where their mindset and mentality is at. So you, to be honest, could be looked at as taking advantage of them because you know they vulnerable. You can't be that desperate, sis. You can find somebody free. And then you got the guys out here who treat women like shit before they go into prison.
Hey, it kind of ended right there. You know, sorry, but that's where it stopped at. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, it just is what it is, though. And I get what she was finna say at the last point to a degree, you know. So yeah, and that's the thing, though. Yeah, man. When you're dealing with that type of situation, it is what it is, though. So, they sitting around here, put money on these cats' books and stuff like that, but won't do anything for a man in the free world. But it's all about survival mode, because both entities, whether the free woman, she in survival mode out here in the free world, and also the dude that's locked up, he in survival mode and he locked up. So birds of a feather always flock together. It just is what it is. And that's kind of the mindset that I'm thinking that this situation is revolving around, is, both of the parties are in survival mode, so they could gravitate towards each other, versus a man that's out here got his shit together and he ain't gonna tolerate that broad's crap out here. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't in survival mode like that. Not as intense as a man in prison. So he ain't gonna tolerate the crap. All right, so we about to keep diving, and we're about to go here now. And hold on, before we dive off into it, this is the situation with the author Tshidi Monkoe. And I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this lady's name right, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, though. So we're about to go here now, and we're about to check some more things out. Let's keep diving.
Hello again. Now, the Thabo Bester prison break saga has raised questions around why a seasoned celebrity doctor would fall for the charms of a dangerous convict. To many, Dr. Nandi Pamakutumana seems to have had it all: a successful career, a husband, and even 2 beautiful daughters. The question being asked now is, why would she throw all that away for a convicted rapist and murderer? Well, a Pretoria woman, Tshidi Monkoe.
Hold up. What did he just say?
Or a successful career, a husband, and even 2 beautiful daughters. The question being asked now is, why would she throw all that away for a convicted rapist and murderer?
Wow. So she was married, had 2 children with the man she was already married to, left that family to get with a convicted felon that did the R word. Oh my.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Hold on here. Hold on.
Just saying, we just gonna sit up here and be sure that we out here 304ing it up. Okay, she 304ing it up, clearly, allegedly. All right. But damn them kids, they good. They gonna take care of themselves, because like I said, they think as long as the kid is alive, I'm a good mama.
Bitch, you're a Dorito. You was never chose. You're a Dorito, bitch. And you're mad that you're not chose, and you never will be chose.
Well, a Pretoria woman, Tshidi Monkoe, has written a book, Prison Love, about her own experience dating a prisoner. To speak about this book, of course, and also shed maybe some light for us about this Thabo Bester Nandi Pamakutumana relationship. She's in studio with me. Good afternoon, Tshidi. Welcome to today. Thanks for coming through.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moyane. Thank you so much for the platform.
The chain you're wearing
Yes.
is got handcuffs.
Uh-huh.
Is that deliberate? Is it a statement?
It is. It is a statement. I will take you through it, though, later.
Okay. So when did you publish your book? In
2021.
2021.
January
2 years ago,
2021.
yeah. Prison Love.
Prison Love.
At the back of the book, it reads, and I'm just going to read for our viewers very quickly. You're saying, this is your offering to those who have also traveled this road, or those who are still going to walk through this road. We didn't know about Nandi Pamakutumana at the time when you wrote those words, or those words were written to you. When you heard about this story, Thabo Bester and Nandi Pamakutumana, let's start there. Before we talk about the book, what thoughts were going through your mind?
Sure. I saw thousands of women who visit correctional services centers every weekend to go and visit men who are incarcerated. And I thought to myself, they could end up being like her. I'm glad I did not take that route, because I am not approving of criminal behavior. I may have fallen in love with a prisoner, but I would not approve criminal behavior. But I had other women who are still in those kind of relationships in mind.
How did you fall in love with a prisoner? I mean, how come? I mean, there's more men outside prison than there are in prison.
I know, but I did not go looking for it, you know, just like all those other women don't go looking for it. Because, you know, Mr. Moyane, no woman wakes up in the morning and decides that, you know, today I'm going to go look for a man in prison. I'm going to contact Khosi Mampuru and ask them to hook me up with a prisoner. That is not how it works. A prisoner finds you. He comes into your space, right? So now, I was at work.
Okay, so if that's the case, then, you know what I'm saying, it goes back to, hold on. It goes back to what this young lady here just said. Hold on. It goes back to what this young lady here just said about, you know what I'm saying, it goes back to what this young lady here just said. Let's see what she just said right here. Hold on.
Dealing with these type of guys, a lot of them is opportunists and narcissists. You got to think they in survival mode. They're not looking for love. If they don't even know you, how can they look for love? They trying to get through the step. Hello, they're looking for somebody to put money on their books. Most of them want y'all to smuggle shit in, and they most of the time talking about marriage. They say all that to keep getting you send money to them books, and guess what? Some of them got 3 or 4 women in there, if not 5 or 6. They got y'all coming on different visitation days. They call it Women Bay, okay?
So, you know what I'm saying? And this is where we at right here. So, let's keep going.
Minding my own business. My colleague's phone rings. I pick it up from my desk. We worked in an open plan office. And the man on the other end of the line introduces himself as my colleague's brother. And he's curious to know, who is this woman? Where is she from? I then explained to him that...
So he was phoning to speak to a brother who worked with
sister.
you? Sister.
To a sister.
Who worked with you, okay.
Yes. So now I answered the call. So now he's curious to know who I am, because the accent was a Jersey accent and we were in Centurion. So he picks up that I don't speak the language spoken in Pretoria. So then I explained that I'm in the process of relocating from Eguruleni to Pretoria. That's when he offers to help me find a place to stay.
When was this?
This was in 2013. Okay. And I'm relieved that this good Samaritan is going to help me find a place to stay. He now phones me directly on my landline, and we speak every single day. He becomes my breath of fresh air. And you're probably wondering why this man, a stranger, would become my breath of fresh air.
2 things, just before you proceed.
Yeah.
Did he tell you what device he was using? Was he having access to a cell phone? Was he using the prison phone? And did he tell you he was in prison?
No, at this point, I didn't know that he was in prison, but we had a caller identity on our phones. So,
okay, so obviously, from what I'm gathering here, the dude that was actually locked up helped her find, you know, places to live and things like that. You know, listen, look, I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, men in prison don't have access to the outside world, because they do. If we'd have seen, you know, especially nowadays, if y'all on TikTok, all types of stuff, you know, all these apps and things like that, you know, we see that, you know, a lot of in jail nowadays, they actually have access to cell phones. I mean, like, seriously. So they have access to the outside world to a certain degree and things like that. So, yeah, it's, you know, which they've always had. But I'm guaranteeing you that, you know, in her situation, whoever he was, he had a tremendous good access in order to help her out like that. Let's keep going.
He phoned from a landline number.
A landline number.
An 012 number. So I knew that he was phoning from Pretoria, right? So now this man was not aware that it was not only a physical location I was in need of. I was also in need of an emotional location, because I was coming from a very bad marriage. My husband, my ex-husband, was very abusive, you know, emotionally, physically, and financially.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? He was abusive. Hold on.
But you old fish-eyed fool.
So, you know what I'm saying? Her ex was abusive emotionally, and, you know, was she trying to make it like he was abusive physically, things like that. She had 2 kids with him, though, too. Let's keep this in factor and things like that. And also keep in factor that we're only hearing one side of the damn story. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and just take the face value in the 21st century of what a woman says. All this, just believe all women, just believe women, whatever they say. I can't do it. I've lived life. I know better. And young men, if you're listening to me, y'all don't know better. The older men, y'all know better. Some of y'all older men out there still want to be fools and believe all women. That's y'all choice. But at the end of the day, though, I know better. I've ran the streets. I've seen the good girls and the bad girls. I've seen the ups and the downs. I've seen all the dynamics that need to be seen. I'll never believe all women, period. It don't work that way. You can't believe all of anybody, male or female, child or animal. Seriously out here. This is real.
Financially. So I was also looking for an emotional address. And then this man represented.
So he found you. That call came at a very vulnerable time in your life.
It came at a very vulnerable time.
Right.
When I had this place in mind, this place that I needed to escape to, a place I had never been to. I knew what this place looked like, and I knew what it would feel like to be at this place.
Right. So it came at a very vulnerable time. And we know how women are when they're very vulnerable and things like that. They can allow things in their life that they feel like they may get comfort in. And this is part of the situation of the mindset that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? When women are highly vulnerable in basically survival mode out here, people, basically survival mode, she will be able to accept certain energies and entities into her mindset and her life and things like that she can, grasp hold to and may fulfill her for said moment. But the thing of this is yes, she reached out and she reached back out after he reached out to her, things like that, and they got in contact, to a prisoner. And obviously this man was in there for a very egregious crime, the R word. And something else that the gentleman said in the beginning of the broadcast on what they was talking about right here. Let's keep going.
This man represented that. And at this place, I knew I would feel safe. I would feel loved. I would feel valued. I'd be treated like a queen.
Because of how he was coming across on the phone.
Yes, even without speaking to this man, this is a place I have been longing for.
Yes.
For many years. And I have.
So without speaking to she said it herself, without speaking to him, without even speaking to him on the phone, she already felt loved. How is that possible? And see, this is the mindset that, the previous young lady that I played, talked about, how are you, dealing with these men and stuff like that. You put money on these men's books and stuff like that. You don't even know these men. It's crazy. This is wild. But this is what we're talking about here. And what most men and also some women wonder what other women are up to about how can you actually allow yourself to get to this space right here to where you can trust a man you barely even know. Well, of course you can barely know he's locked up. So you don't know how he moves. You don't know his day-to-day routines. You don't know how he is as a human being and things like that. This is wild.
This place in my mind, and this man comes into the picture when everyone that I'm speaking to takes me back to a place I don't want to go back to, because I'm not only running away from my husband who's making death threats, I'm also running away from myself.
Oh Lord, she said her husband making death threats. See, this is why I don't like one side of the story. This is why I don't like one side of the story.
And as I'm running away from myself, I want to run towards something. And then this man represents that.
Very emotional, vulnerable place that you're at. So when do you get to know he's a prisoner? And how do you react to that?
So now this is 8 weeks after we've been speaking every day on the phone, because I love what I'm getting from this man. And I want to get more of it and in person, And this is when I asked him, when are you going to come and visit us here at work so that I can get to meet this wonderful man that I've been speaking to? He takes a very deep breath and says, I won't be able to because I'm in prison.
So what's happening here is that, okay, she ran to a man that was in prison from a man that she said was, doing all types of egregious things to her. Okay. But she ran to a man that was in prison for doing egregious things. And see, this is the mindset that we're talking about.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This is the mindset that we're talking about here, of where, women run from, I'm gonna just say it this way. Okay. Where women will run from maybe one dangerous situation to the next dangerous situation. Now, it may not be as much dangerous because the other dude is locked up, but he's locked up for egregious crimes. He's locked up for the R word. So what are we talking about here? Hold on.
Encourage it whenever you see it. There's so many videos on this app of women talking about their relationships with their men who are in prison, and y'all be all up under the comments talking about relationship goals. Whose relationship goals? But will look a hard-working man with no criminal history dead.
Hold on.
Be loyal to you. You gotta
My bad. Because I want to get it.
Holding men down who are in prison. Y'all will put money on his books. Y'all make sure he got phone cards. Y'all go visit him, tapping his cellmate's cheeks, whichever one. Men who are in prison, and y'all be all up under the comments talking about relationship goals. Whose relationship goals? But will look a hard-working man with no criminal history dead in the face and tell him, and that nigga who's in jail is broke as fuck. He can't even afford noodles. You got to get him for him. And y'all wonder why.
That ain't what I was. My bad, guys. But you know what I'm saying? Listen, look. It is what it is at this aspect. You know what I'm saying? And I can't see how she would sit there and run from one tragic situation to another. But the thing of it is, like I said before, birds of a feather flock together. And this is something that we as men in today's society need to understand and accept about women. Birds of a feather flock together. Yes. And the women are doing this. She ran from, in her words, she ran from her husband who was doing all types of egregious things, abuse and things like that, to a man that was locked up for pretty much almost the same thing. R word and other stuff. Hold on here. What did he get locked up for?
Would fall for the charms of a dangerous convict. To many, Dr. Nandi Pamakutumana seems to have had it all: a successful career, a husband, and even 2 beautiful daughters. The question being asked now is, why would she throw all that away for a convicted rapist and murderer?
So he did the R word and he deleted somebody. So this lady right here left her husband, which she said that he was, doing, damage to her, things like that. She left her family and she went to a man that was locked up for the R word and he deleted people.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And see, this is the thing, man. We're trying to understand the mindset of this situation. We're trying to understand the mindset of the situation. Because guess what?
Men can't fucking stand us. Y'all don't make no sense. And
Hold on.
do coffee dates because you don't deal with broke men. That nigga who's in jail is broke as fuck. He can't even afford noodles. You got to get him for him. And y'all wonder why men can't fucking stand us. Y'all don't make no sense. And
But you're a Dorito. You was never chose. You're a Dorito, bitch. And you're mad that you're not chose. And you never will be chose.
Just saying, we just gonna sit up here and be sure that we out here 304ing it up. Okay, she 304ing it up, clearly, allegedly. All right. But damn them kids, they good. They gonna take care of themselves. Cause like I said, they think as long as the kid is alive, I'm a good mama.
And that's just the facts. This is where we at. This is where we at, people. This is where we at. And you know what I'm saying? This lady right here, you know, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And we're wondering why, you know, the women are wondering why, you know, most of the men out here in the free world that have productive things going on and stuff like that are not really choosing them. Because we can clearly see what you want and what you about. And it's no shade. You want what you want, and that's fine. But don't sit there and try to diminish the men that don't want to deal with your debauchery and don't want to deal with your stupidity mindset and things like that, because they want better for their lives too, and they want peace. Just because these men are not criminals or they haven't done anything, you know what I'm saying, seriously wrong, or you know, if they did, it ain't super serious like this crap. You know, this is crazy. You know, to leave one from her standpoint, from her thought process of what she said, to leave one man with your husband and he was, you know, abusive, and then to go to a man that's locked up and he did the R word and he deleted people. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. And then we want to sit around here and women are trying to feel like, you know what I'm saying? Well, we deserve respect and this and that. And woo. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, then fine then. Keep dealing with those men that you respect. Because obviously those are the type of men that you respect. You're willing to put money on his books. You're willing to do all this and that. Woo. You know what I'm saying? Obviously you're in a trauma mode and stuff like that. You're thinking that, you know what I'm saying, you leave one man that traumatized you, and then you go to the next that actually traumatized other people and stuff like that in life. And then you just think that this shit is okay. Like this is like everything is just okay. You know, I mean, I can't grasp the thought process of this. But, you know, if that's what women want, that's what they want. So it's no shade. But the thing of it is, though, is you don't need to put down decent men because they're not trying to be convicts. And they actually are trying to be decent, productive people in society and, you know, be better human beings and things like that, and try to rise above, you know, the trash aspect of life. But, you know, and this is where we at, you know, and we do have a subset of women that will deal with men that's incarcerated like this, and that will, you know what I'm saying, they like that shit. You know what I'm saying? They think that pseudo masculinity is real masculinity and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that a man in prison can't change his mindset and can't change his ways and things like that. No, I'm not saying that at all. But the thought process of this is that if you're out here in the free world and you're choosing to deal with a convict or something like that, you know, then that's on you. And we don't want to hear about the, you know, the damage that situation does to you if, you know, you get involved with an individual like that. Because both these people, male and female, both of these individuals, her and the dude that she deal with and the other ladies and things like that, they're all in survival mode. And I repeat, birds of a feather flock together. And that's just where we at with this type of thought process. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.